It's good to see you all. Thank you for coming. I figured I'd have a cricket in the room, or one over there and one over there. But thank you for coming to facilitating school-based ExcEL teams. I trust that everybody's summer was good, great. Perhaps you did a few trips, some activities here and there. Anybody watch any shows? Anybody binge watch anything? Sinner. Cool. Anything else? Yellowstone? What was that about? Little Kevin. You can never go wrong with Kevin. Anybody else? What was it? Arrow. Oh my. Was that something that you kind of went from season 1 to, or have you been watching it all along?
I binged it.
You binged it. Yes. Excellent. Any other shows that came out over the summer? I had a laundry list of shows I wanted to get through, but I'm still on Breaking Bad from sorry folks, yeah, I'm a little behind the times. All right. Well, I'm surprised that no one actually said a different show. Nobody ever heard of Excelling in Shelton? No, did you hear it? Did you hear about it? I know some of you in the room have at least watched season 1. I know you have. You're just not sure you did. Well, anyway, we have the time, so let's, if you don't mind, would you like to see a little bit of what this is about? Okay, so just give me a minute here. Let's do a little Netflix action. Okay. All right, so, it's over in... Popular on Netflix, folks. It's very popular. So if those of you who haven't watched it, you're behind the times. All right. So 5 stars, yeah, it's TV-wise, so the kids could be in it too, But for those of you who might not be from Shelton or don't know, basically the entire show is about the school district of Shelton with Project ExcEL, which is a federally funded grant. We're transforming our 8 schools, and we are very happy this year that all 8 schools will be on board, our last 2 coming on board this year. So anyway, it looks fun, doesn't it? All right. Anybody want to season 1 it? All right, okay. Oh, here we go. Let's see what this is about here. So I know some of you have been watching. You just don't realize. How many of you are already on the team? Yeah, so you've been watching, you liars. Okay. So this presentation is also for teams that are just getting started. So, or if you're from a school that doesn't have a team like this, how could you get started? So the first episode, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's basically how school staff forms, basically by volunteer, and they begin work to make everything better, or at least for our L students and families. Basically, the meetings are mutually convenient. It's something that we all come to the table and we decide what is going to work for our school, for our staff, based on need, based on the time that the school runs. So that's episode 1. Anybody who's seen these episodes, jump in if you remember something cool about it. All right. Oh, episode 2 was fun too. 3 tiers for L's. So right out of the gate, one of the first things that the team will do is to learn about the L's in their school. Hopefully you're fortunate, or we are fortunate, to have all different roles represented on the team, not just classroom teachers. And so that way it's giving a lot of different perspectives of levels of L's, not only academic, but otherwise as well. Social emotional. And so as a team, you decide on a way to tier students. I'm going to let that word just kind of hang in the air In some of the schools, we've actually done it on paper. It doesn't have to be that formal, like an Excel spreadsheet. Basically, you're looking for L's that are in most need, most at risk, and from there spawns episode 3. And getting all we need, we're trying to get all we need. The topics of the meetings are inspired by the L's needs and family's needs from that tiering, as well as the needs of the team. We come with all different experiences, all different backgrounds regarding L's and cultural awareness. So we want to open it up to, well, what are the missing pieces in your own knowledge of L's? And those things spawn the topics for the meetings, not only the students. Now, if you've been watching, anything that you want to say about the episodes? Were they good? I think they're pretty good. Okay. Wait, what you doing? This is a fun episode because what it begins to do is show how the ExcEL team, through conversations, possibly some activities that they're doing initially, it begins to trickle out into the veins of the school. And actually our teams have grown because of that trickling process. Some of our members have come to the team because they heard colleagues or saw what we've been doing, and they're like, what's that about? So we hope that it begins to spread out. It's not just solely for a team to do all of the work. It is for the school, after all. All right. Okay, this is where really the fun stuff begins in episode 5. We begin to brainstorm ideas for what we want to do for our school, specifically to benefit L's and their families in the school, with particular focus on the need of our school and the confines of our school. If you're doing this without funds, that's a whole other conversation, which we can get to in a bit. Actually, I lied. This is not the good episode. This is the good episode. Episode 6, when the big bucks come involved. So again, inspired by the need of the school, we spend grant funds. And that's where it could be not only fun, but tricky. Because suddenly you have this lump sum of money and it's like, what do we do with it? Where should we focus it? Okay. Some teams have put it into all different things. Some teams have focused the funds in one particular area. So everything is up to the team and the school. There's really no parameter that you have to follow, and this is just a guide. All right. You think it's something you'd watch again? Yeah? Okay. Well, episode 2, now some of you, you're moving into episode 2, season 2. The year kicks off with the delivery of your resources, and so you hopefully dive in as a team, taking a look at what you actually purchased, how it's going to be implemented, if there's training that needs to happen with the team, and then again trickle out to the other parts of the school. That's really what begins to kick off the second season. Okay. Most of season 2, year 2, is about the project work. So your teams may not focus as much on like PD or PL type stuff, although certainly if a need arises and the team and the school with students, you adjust accordingly. But most of the work in season 2 is moving into what the projects are and implementing, or I should say, designing them and implementing them. Season 2, episode 3 is a great time to revisit the tiering. With new students coming in, the needs may change in the school. And so it's always important for the team to keep abreast of the current situation in the school. And even though you have, let's say, a second grade teacher on the team, there is no excuse why that second grade teacher should not at least know fourth grade L's, know of fourth grade L's. The physical education teacher, of course, has the good fortune to know everybody, but everybody on the team should be at least aware of the L's in the school, how many there are, languages represented, cultures represented, those types of things. And so it's not in isolation that we're working. We're always working for the betterment of the school. It's also important, too, that the goals are never set in stone. So what may have been a great idea last year in season 1, let's tweak it, it's not going to work, we're working on it, ooh, this is an epic fail. It's not, what we're producing is always a work in progress, so that whatever comes out of this is truly the best for the kids and the families. All right, so we learned a little bit about this yesterday. This doesn't have to be in season 2. It could be any time, just so FYI. But if you are interested, you can earn the micro-credential that the ExcEL Academy is offering. And it can be done as a team. I know there was a lot of question in terms of, could it be individual? Does it have to be individual? Is it a team? It's teamwork or individual. Hopefully, through the second year, now people have gotten their feet wet, and it can further pulse through the school. Really, what we want to do is ensure that the ExcEL team is not working in isolation in a room somewhere where nobody else knows in the school what they're doing. We want to have these conversations. We want to start changing things so that other people in the school, even those who visit, may say, wait, what's that? And so that we get this idea that something is going on. So all types of awareness are being heightened. In the last episode of season 2, it packs a punch, because with the grant, you realize that after season 2, you are no longer paid for your services, and you are no longer going to be afforded this lovely sum of money. However, if you are not under the grant, who cares? Because you have always started with being the creative person that you guys are. And so you basically are at the very end of season 2 thinking about how the team is going to change and reflecting on what went well, what didn't, what could we do moving forward. All right. That's season 1 and 2, the first couple of years of ExcEL teams.